Right now at noon, 44,000 pounds of Dr. Pepper spills across the highway after a tractor trailer overturns.
And we've got those mostly clear skies out there. A few clouds here and there. It is warm. It is windy. We'll talk about that forecast coming up.
Plus, we take a look at the 8-acre corn maze inspired by Kansas City Chiefs head coach.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy, and today's top story. 44,000 pounds of Dr. Pepper spilled across the highway outside of Oronogo this morning. It happened around 4:30 a.m. when the tractor trailer swerved to avoid hitting a deer on Highway Mo 96 east of Oronogo. The truck was carrying a shipment of Dr. Pepper, and when it overturned, the 44,000 pounds of soda spilled across the highway. Police departments from Oronogo and Jasper County responded to the scene along with the Oronogo Fire Department. The westbound lane of Mo 96 was closed until all the debris and the overturned tractor trailer were cleared at around 8:45 a.m. The driver was not injured in the crash. Federal prosecutors indict a Kansas man and a Missouri man for allegedly conducting an illegal kickback scheme on contracts for nuclear weapons parts. 67-year-old Michael Kleinsmith of Kansas and 63-year-old Richard Mueller of Missouri are charged with 4 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of honest services wire fraud. Authorities say from at least 2011 to 2021, Kleinsmith, who worked at the National Security Campus in Kansas City, gave Mueller information on how much to bid for contracts on machining and tooling work at a St. Louis facility. In exchange, they say that Mueller paid Kleinsmith more than $1 million. If convicted, they could face 20 years in prison. Police in Lamar, Missouri arrest a teenager accused of stabbing another teen after Friday night's home football game against Hollister. They say that the incident happened by the football stadium as players were walking back to the locker rooms after the game, though the victim was not a player. The victim was flown to a hospital and is currently in stable condition. Police have not said how many suspects there are, but that they are all minors, and none of them are students of Lamar or Hollister. One of those first suspects is in custody for first-degree assault.
Well, we've got a warm and windy day out there for us today. The MoDOT camera, 20th and Range line, just froze up a moment ago, but right before it did, you can see we've got those mostly clear skies out there, just a few clouds. Yesterday started the day at 51, made it up to 78, so well above where we're supposed to be for this time of year. And today is going to be another above normal day for us across the area. So again, MoDOT camera, unfortunately, oh, there it goes. All right. Well, we're up to 77 in Joplin already and 77 in Pittsburgh with those clear skies out there. Temperatures around the region, of course, you go further west, 80, Chanute, Independence, Sedan, 81, Neodesha, Parsons, 79, Yates Center, Welch, 78 in Miami, 77 right along the I-49 corridor, with the exception of Lamar, sitting at 76. So a very warm, unseasonably warm day as we're, we're pushing 10, 20 degrees above where we should be. We'll have the above average temperatures today. Gusty south winds pushing 30 miles an hour. Showers and storms, though, are going to start building in after midnight tonight. And our rain chances continue from tomorrow through next Tuesday morning. So Halloween morning, that's how much rain we have on the way. We'll have more on this incoming rain and what we're looking at in terms of temperatures, because even though our temps 10, 15 degrees above normal now, they're going to be 10, 20 degrees below normal in a few more days. We'll take a look at that full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, the Springfield police just investigated the city's 23rd fatality crash of the year so far. Joe Hickman has more on an increasing number of wrecks in Missouri's third largest city.
It was 8:16 last night when Springfield had its first crash fatality of the day with that motorcycle car crash on Battlefield Road. But it bookended a busy day for the police department's traffic unit that had started with another motorcycle-related wreck at Sunshine and Kings Avenue at 10:18 that morning, when, according to police, the motorcyclist lost control and hit a truck. Counting those two events, there were 19 crashes on our city streets in that 11-hour span. There were 3 between 11 and noon, 4 between noon and 1, and 5 of the crashes were along Kansas Expressway. In all, 8 people were injured, with one fatality coming at the crash on Battlefield.
Springfield keeps growing, and so with that, we are encountering more traffic on the road. Our officers do stay pretty busy going to calls for service. We do see a lot of people using their phones, so we would just urge people to limit those distractions.
One of the Kansas Expressway crashes came after 2 men in this SUV were trying to get away after one of them allegedly stole items from a Harbor Freight store. But instead of getting away, they crashed the SUV into a truck, injuring 2 of its occupants. The 2 men in the SUV were arrested. Meanwhile, the crash at Sunshine and Kings is just 3 blocks from National and Sunshine, which currently has construction work going on for turn lanes and safety improvements. Unfortunately, that intersection was not safe last Saturday night around 11 o'clock when an Uber driver, stopped at a red light, was slammed from behind, killing the Uber's backseat passenger and injuring the driver. As for the 38-year-old driver of the car that hit them,
we do believe that speed was a factor in that accident, but I don't have any information to indicate construction work going on there was a factor.
And speaking of crashes and overall safety here in the 4 states, the personal finance wallet Hub just released its report on 2023's safest states in America. Unfortunately, 3 of the 4 states made the list for least safe states in America. Missouri came in at number 41, Oklahoma was ranked 44th, and Arkansas was ranked at the very bottom at number 48. Wallet Hub compared the 50 states across 52 key metrics. The data set ranges from assaults per capita to the total loss amount from climate disasters per capita to the unemployment rate. Vermont was ranked the safest state, while Louisiana came in last as the least safest state. And finally, an 8-acre corn maze inspired by Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid is becoming the talk of the fall season. Alan Shope visited the Missouri family farm with the maze that's getting national attention from fans.
He said, hey, why don't we just do Andy?
A little family farm inspiration and a very distinctive Coach Andy Reid feature.
Mostly the mustache.
Yep, it's a look Coach has down and one Chief fans really like.
They're like, oh, that's so cool.
Johnson Farms near 177th and Holmes even getting national attention when the Andy Reid corn maze was shown on the Thursday night game broadcast last week.
My phone was blowing up then.
I bet, but this was almost a completely different looking maze.
My daughter wanted to do Taylor and Travis in a heart, but I was afraid of that.
I know, right? What a bummer if they'd broken up or something. So it's Andy getting the call to the corn.
Hard.
Jean says it's not that complicated of a maze. She says it's only 8 acres and there's exits on each side to get out if you get lost. Plus, she adds, there's a poster of Andy Reid out front and the maze, so you can kind of work your way through it.
Medium to easy. It's not super duper hard.
But it is extremely cool.
Andy Reid with the mustache, how can you go wrong?
Well, as long as you don't take a left when you should have taken a right.
The Andy Reid corn maze will be open until Halloween. And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in our 4th-state region. Up next on KOAM News at Noon. Israel forces increase airstrikes in Gaza. We'll have the latest. And later, we're making tailgating chili in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Stay tuned. Israel's defense forces say they hit more than 300 Hamas targets in Gaza over the past 24 hours. Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
Massive explosions could be seen in Gaza Monday as Israel steps up airstrikes against Hamas targets. This Gaza resident says last night was the hardest night so far, adding that he evacuated to an area in the south that was supposed to be safe. Nearby, aid workers sorted through a shipment of desperately needed supplies following a deal to let in some humanitarian aid to the millions of Palestinian civilians living in the besieged territory.
It's just a fraction of all of the humanitarian assistance that is actually needed over there.
CBS News has learned the Biden administration has repeatedly tried to get Israel to delay a ground invasion of Gaza to prioritize the distribution of humanitarian aid and the release of the hostages Hamas is holding.
We are very worried about them and about all the other 212 kidnapped prisoners.
Concern is growing. The violence could escalate into a wider regional conflict. In the West Bank Sunday, Israel targeted what it says was an underground terror route beneath a mosque. And in Israel's north, residents evacuated as Israel continues to trade fire almost daily with Iran-backed Hezbollah fighters in Lebanon. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
The search for a speaker stretches on here after Congressman Jim Jordan lost a third vote on the House floor and the support of his Republican colleagues on Friday. Now the nomination process starts anew, and there are 9 candidates vying for the job, all of them men, all members of the Conservative Republican Study Committee, ranging in experience for the job that is second in line to the presidency. One of the candidates is Tom Emmer from Minnesota, who currently serves in leadership as the House Whip. Emmer is endorsed by former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, but he is one of only 2 candidates who voted to certify the 2020 election results, which could put him at odds with supporters of former President Donald Trump. The big question remains who can gain the 217 Republican votes to win the gavel and get the House open for business again. Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
I have something that I want to share that I've never shared with you before. I think it's time I admit it.
Well, that was Critic Howard. Looking forward to what it is you've got for us. But first, I said that was okay. We do have showers and thunderstorms on the way. We're going to take a look at that forecast and our big cool down when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So we've had a warm and windy day out there, which is exactly what we were expecting from this morning. However, if you like the really warm weather, I've got bad news. If you don't like it and you'd prefer it to be colder, then I've got fantastic news. We're going to get to all of that in just a moment. First, let's head a little later into this evening. Now, for most of us, the skies are mostly clear out there, if not just plain old clear. But as we go later into this evening, we're going to start to see increasing cloud cover across the area, and that is ahead of our increasing shower and thunderstorm chances. So here we are tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. So roughly again after about midnight, 1 a.m., the first round of these will start rolling through the area. So our morning commute is looking messy and wet. Here we are at noon. The lunchtime commute looking messy as well. Scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. And these will continue even into our evening commute. Now, by the time we get into the evening hours, they do become a bit more scattered out there. And they'll remain scattered as we head into the late evening and into the overnight hours. But as you can see, periods of showers and thunderstorms are expected to continue. We'll continue with scattered to almost widespread showers and thunderstorms as we go into our Wednesday. There will be another pause in the evening, and then we head late evening Wednesday. And that's right, that's a whole nother round of showers and thunderstorms coming in by Thursday morning. Now, the good news is at this point still not anticipating any severe weather. It's not to say we couldn't see a stray strong storm, but on the whole, not really expecting any severe weather, just some much needed rain. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line, clear skies and plentiful sunshine. Same from the MoDOT camera at US 60, Missouri 59 down in Neosho. Our camera at the KOAM studios just north of Crestline. You can see some cloud cover out there. This is building to the south ahead of the increasing clouds for all of us through the evening. And we're looking pretty decent from the KDOT camera just south of Pittsburgh on US 69. So looking back to the north, a couple of stray clouds before this box popped in and ruined it. But we're otherwise clear to the north. It's to the south the clouds are beginning to build. 77 in Joplin has slight heat index of 79, south breeze at 14. And over in Pittsburgh, 77 feels like 79 as well, south breeze around 11 miles an hour. And that southerly breeze has been gusting out there up to 30 at times. And look at these temperatures out west. 80 Sedan, 81 Neodesha Parsons, 80 Chanute Independence, 78 Chitopa Miami, 79 in Fort Scott, 76 Lamar, 77 Carthage and Neosho. So again, our friends out west, your highs today are more than likely going to be in the upper 80s out there. But for the rest of us, we're still looking low to mid 80s for our highs. Partly cloudy skies, those winds gusting again out of the south to about 30. We head into this evening, winds still gusting up there, about 25 out of the south. Overnight lows dropping back to 63. And of course, our shower and thunderstorm chances begin to ramp up. And as we showed you on Future Track, our Tuesday looking to be just stormy, which we need this rain, and we're going to have the periods of storms, still gusty winds though out of the south, pushing around 30, and we'll make it into the low 70s. Again, our mild weather holds on through at least Thursday. However, as we head into the weekend, temperatures do begin to fall. We start to see overnight lows falling back into the 30s, and as we head toward Halloween, again, the rain chances, by the way, continue all the way through Tuesday morning, and by Halloween, we're looking at highs only in the low 50s out there, so that's about 20 degrees cooler than where we should be for this time of year. And as we head into Halloween night, we are looking at the possibility of our first freeze across the area. So if you have any outdoor vegetation, things like that, you've still got about a week to start thinking about it, but could be looking at our first freeze of the season here in about 7 or 8 days.
Or about how to bundle up your kid while still letting them wear their Halloween costume,
That's the
right?
toughest part.
All right. Well, stick around because we're making tailgating chili in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. It's time to check in with Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Today he's making a hot, savory, meaty way to enjoy the big game. It's called Howard's Tailgating Chili. Take a look.
I'm going to admit something right now that I don't think I've ever admitted before on TV. I love chili. I love it so much that even though National Chili Day isn't until February, I couldn't wait to share my new chili recipe with you. So if you're ready to find out what makes this one so great, let's not waste another second. What we do is saute some ground chuck along with Italian sausage in a heavy soup pot until no pink remains. Then we toss in a couple cans of chili beans that we've drained, along with some diced canned tomatoes. Yep, with the juice and all. Now, to give this lots of flavor, we add some chopped garlic, onion, and green pepper. Then we add a decent amount of beer, a bit of hot pepper sauce, and a boatload of spices. After giving it a good stir, we cover it and let it simmer until it thickens up and all the flavors come together. This is great on game day, and if there's a local chili cook-off that you really want to win, keep this one in mind. It's my secret weapon against all those other boring chilies. To get this winning recipe, I suggest you head over to our website and look for what I call my tailgating chili. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a great chili way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
To find this recipe along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. Now here's a look at your 4-state market prices.
All right, so we've got the low to mid 80s out there. Well, warm, windy, partly cloudy, increasing clouds later. Thunderstorms after midnight tonight, and scattered shower and thunderstorm chances carry with us all the way into the weekend. Temperatures mild through Thursday, and they'll start to fall back as we head into the upcoming weekend.
All right, time to bust out those rain jackets and boots. Absolutely. Well, coming up tonight at 5, there is no test screen for ovarian cancer, but a new survey finds many women mistakenly believe that pap smears can detect it. Tonight, we'll have more on how that may put them at risk. Plus, Red Ribbon Week focuses on how to talk to kids about the dangers of drug use. And find out how you can own a piece of baseball legends. Join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. And that'll do it for us here at KOAM News at Noon. Have a great rest of your day, 4 States.